Welcome back, YouTube. So today we have a pretty big announcement. We have a partnership between Coinbase and BlackRock. And if you don't know, I'm sure everyone knows what Coinbase is, but if you don't know who or what BlackRock is, BlackRock is the center stone for all trading pretty much in the economy. They are pretty much like they're bigger than Citadel. They're literally just a mammoth, a titan when it comes down to the financial industry. And this alludes back to the point that I was making even as early as last year when I was saying that we're going to have a consolidation in the market. And I said that typically the titans and stuff like that, they're going to try and acquire. This is typically what happens in a bear market, in a breakdown of the economy when these companies start struggling and stuff like that. The ones who have the cash, they swoop in and they start buying things up and expanding. This is all about dominance. This is the same move that you see FTX is doing. This is why FTX is acting like the Federal Reserve and coming in and loaning out money and stuff like that. If you pay them back, great, they make a profit. And if you don't, you get acquired and they get to expand their market share. There's a reason why Gary Gensler called the crypto market the Wild Wild West, and it was because of the lack of regulation. And when you have these swings, like in this, the ability to turn nothing into something, and the ability to make a vast amount of money and have these huge pumps and that turns thousands of percent, that's going to attract these hedge funds, these financial titans and stuff like that. They love this kind of stuff. If you've been paying any kind of attention to the markets for the last couple of years, you've seen like short squeezes, these runs here, even just recently. We've seen a stock this week go 21,000%. This is like the type of volatility that we're going to have in the markets here. So I knew this was going to be their next step, was to come into crypto. Citadel has even expressed interest as well as coming into the crypto sector. What does this mean? This is that consolidation I was speaking of, because we have all of these different exchanges going bankrupt and they don't have enough capital and freezing stuff like that. And when you have the government saying, okay, we're going to come in and regulate, this is going to be their 1-2 step approach to say, hey, look, we're already established. We know how this works. We run the stock market. We can do the same for crypto. So they're going to pitch that little play to like the SEC and stuff like that to create that bridge so that they can pretty much do what Robinhood does, where they're a brokerage and an exchange, just on a much bigger level. And this is really going to turn them from, I don't know what's bigger than like a mammoth or a titan, but a whale is like an understatement. They're going to be absolutely huge and just dominate both sectors. This is the expansion that I was speaking about when you have that breakdown in the markets. But if you look here, you'll pretty much just say that I'm going to read a statement from the CEO. I believe this is the chairman of BlackRock, global head of strategic ecosystem partnerships. Our institutional clients are increasingly interested in gaining exposure to digital asset markets and are focused on how to efficiently manage the operational life cycle of these assets. Joseph Chalom, BlackRock's global head, and I bet they are. I bet they are looking to get exposure into crypto. And this is literally what this is also an alarming part of what, as far as what we're talking about when it comes down to shorts and the manipulation in the market, because we know the games, how they play in the stock market. So we really have to just be careful here, because if you have the same players in the stock market start and make this crossover into the crypto market, you know what's going to happen. You know what's going to happen if you leave your coins on the exchanges. All right, get you something like a ledger, get your coins off of the exchanges. That's the best thing that you can do for the actual evaluation and the price of your coin. This is much better than I'll say this is a significant advantage that you have in the crypto market compared to the stock market. You can't move your stocks from the stock market, but you do have this advantage in the crypto market. Get yourself something like a ledger. I just got another 3 today. I have a link in the description. You can order them directly from the site, the same place I got mine. It comes from France, directly from headquarters, and you don't have to worry about getting malware or any of the BS that's going on, or any of the scams and stuff like that you read. If you read the reviews and if you see it like on something like an Amazon or something like that, or eBay, you have the potential to get scammed or hustled. So just make sure that you're getting it from the source so that you don't have to worry about any funny business. And that's really going to be the best case for having control over your assets, because if these titans come over there, if you think these staking rewards and stuff like that are cool now, wait until these titans get their hands on it. and say, oh, okay, well, we're going to offer you this. Leave your coins on the exchange. Oh, the cryptocurrency market, the exchanges and stuff like that, it's safer than ever. Backed by BlackRock, backed by this large company. This is going to be an incentive here. And more than likely, when you have things like the Fed coin and stuff like that come out, you can best believe who's going to be the wraparound token or who's the token is going to be redeemable in. This is all going to play a part into those strengths of the government and their new Fed coin. So you have to keep that in mind if going forward. A lot of people ask me what was my thoughts on BlackRock and CoinBase. That's pretty much it. Like, this is what I've been talking about. This is what happens when you have that breakdown. These strong companies, the companies with the cash, the large companies, they look to acquire and grow in times like this. And this is literally the play. It's been the play since the beginning of time. This is what happens. So it's similar to like the old saying, big bank takes little bank. This is what happens. So you have to kind of be prepared for that and know that, okay, as you see these companies falling, you're going to see some mergers happening. You're going to see some acquisitions happening, and just kind of know the play and make sure that you're doing what you can to protect your investment. Because the same way that these halts are happening, these withdrawal freezes are happening, asset liquidations and stuff like that, they're doing what's best for the company. You have to think and say, hey, this is my portfolio. This is my company. I need to do what's best for my company. And what's best is to make sure that I have access to my investment, make sure that I have control over my investment. So, the best way to do that is to make sure that you're not at the mercy of an exchange and whatever business that they're dealing in, or their fractional reserves, or however many, their liquidity and stuff like that. You don't have to worry about that if you have control of it. So that's the best move for you. Same thing with the stocks. If the stock market, if you don't want to do a portfolio or an exchange that has a tie to some of these brokerages and stuff like that, that doesn't do payment for order flow, that's why I recommend Moomoo. You can use Moomoo, and they don't do payment for order flow, so you're not selling your information, and you don't have to worry about getting front ran and stuff like that. So that's another way that you can fight back. I have a link in the description for Moomoo. To combat a lot of the nonsense that's going on in the market, it requires a little bit extra research, a little bit, reading the fine print, but there are options out there, better options out there, that can return some of the power to the people that we've given up for convenience. Yes, I know it's an extra step to use something like a ledger. I know it's an extra step. I know it's an extra step compared to having your coins on the exchange and just letting it sit there and buy and sell and stuff like that. But when you think of the whole risk reward scenario, I promise you it all balances out. I hope all is well. Subscribe to the channel if you want to hear more from me. Like the video, share it, and I will see you in the next one.